All right, everybody, shalom and welcome to the show. Broadcasting live from Judea to the world. You are a part of it wherever you are. Shalom to your friends. We haven't been for a while, and so we are going to continue to be live. We're going to get back to doing lives, and we're just so happy to have you with us. And I'm very excited to be back live. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot in this beautiful country that's happening. But for us to go live, I want to hear from you. You got to tell me where you're from. You got to send me your blessings from the world, and I'll send you blessings back. That's our deal. So do let me know where you're at, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you wherever you are around the world. It is a blessing to be with you. In fact, I want to start the show while everybody comes in. I just want to start the show and let everybody know that today is Rosh Chodesh, which means it's the new month. It's the new month of Sivan, which is also my birthday month. And so I'm very excited. I'm going to be turning a very beautiful age this year. So I'm very excited about that. But today is Rosh Chodesh. And so therefore, Rosh Chodesh also has the term Rosh Chadash, which means new brain, new mind, new mindset. And we're going to start off renewed anew today, Rosh Chodesh. So I want to wish everybody a Chodesh Tov. I want everybody to say the words Chodesh Tov. Can you say Chodesh Tov? Chodesh Tov. I want to hear you. All right. So we're getting shaloms from folks in the field out there, from France, blessings from France, and right back to you. I know you need the blessings. Absolutely. To my friends in France, God bless you. Shalom from New York. And the Israel Day Parade is coming to New York. Not this coming Sunday, but the Sunday after that. I hope that you're going to be there. I hope to be there in New York City for the Israel Day Parade. There's going to be folks in blessing us from Australia. Shalom to you and to Illinois and to Chicago and to Germany and Brooklyn, New York, and from the USA in general, and Israeli flags at Unite the Kingdom rally in London yesterday. Awesome. Baruch Hashem. So great to be with all of you guys right now live. And look at this. I didn't even start the show. I didn't even make a request. And already a blessing coming in. PC sends a super chat, sending blessings. And I'm sending blessings right back to you, PC. God bless you. Wherever you are out there. Thank you so much. Oh, at London. Very good. You see, London needs our blessings, and it's sending blessings right back. That's awesome. Thank you very much. Shalom to all of you out there. Chodesh Tov. Everybody say Chodesh Tov, which means new month, a good new month. What's going on with the huge Pride event in Israel? I didn't see that. I don't know what you mean by Pride event. The whole thing's a Pride event, but I don't know if it's the same meaning that you have. I think that we're proud to be in a country. We just had a massive parade of a flag parade in Jerusalem, and you're going to see it here exclusively at Yishai Fleischer TV. An amazing parade that we had here. You're going to see an awesome parade. We're going to put out a video in a week, something like that, of an amazing parade. In fact, we have such awesome, unique footage coming up here, and I want you to share it with your friends. We have incredible footage, including the Solomon's Pools, amazing footage that's going to be coming up soon about this trip to Solomon's Pools, which is a huge water system that brought water to Jerusalem 2,000 years ago. So we're going to be putting that out, Bezrat Hashem, with the help of God, in the next week. And then after that, amazing footage from the flag parade in Jerusalem, only here at Yishai Fleischer TV. I want to thank all the folks that are with me live right now from all over the world and on different platforms. YouTube is one platform, but so is LinkedIn, and so is X, and so is Instagram. And I want to really bless you for all the people that are using different platforms to be successful there. Here is an angry dude writing, America has seen Israel for the terrorist nation it is. Not a nice word for Israel. A isolation in the world has come, and you will all pay for your crimes against humanity. Israel is a sick terrorist society. Well, that's like your opinion, man. We actually think that we're the light to the world, pushing back on jihadism and creating everything from medicine to technology to spiritual blessings. And your darkness is not shared by us. For example, Lisa writes, love the information you share. Thank you very much. And Ari writes, thanks for all you do. Thanks, Ari. God bless you. Great picture there of you and your fam. Awesome. All right. So let's get started, my dear friends. Actually, before I even get started with the actual issue today, which is this awesome new competing videos that have come out, before I get started, I just want to hit one small thing, and that is a psalm that I read yesterday that just touched my heart, and I wanted to share it with you for a second before we get started. So here's the psalm. That's right. Hello, is that Yo, my producer? Yo, did I put you in the show? What happened? Okay, check this out. I want you to see the psalm, and I want to read it together with you. And then,
No,
yeah, go ahead.
there's just a little crunchiness in the sound.
Crunchiness in the sound. I can reduce a little bit of crunchy sound. How does the, wait, hold on 1 second. I'm reducing the gain and adding some volume. How does that sound to you? Is that less crunchiness? How are we sounding? 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3. Okay, if the sound is good to you guys, then let me know.
Sounds better.
Okay, great. Okay, shalom from Edmonton and Berta. And just before we go on, I just want to do the psalm, and then we're going to go into the topic of the show today. Lemenatzeach ben ginot mizmor shir, for the conductor of neginot, of songs, a psalm, a song. Elohim yechanenu v'yivarchenu. God will be gracious to us and bless us. Ya'er panav itanu sela. He will cause his countenance to shine with us forever. Ladat. So just think for a second about God's face. He's going to shine his face onto us. Ladat, to know. Ba'aretz darkecha, to know in the land your ways. Bechol goyim yeshuatecha, all the nations will know your salvation. Yoducha amim Elohim. Yoducha amim kulam. All the peoples of the world will thank you, O God. Peoples will thank you. Yea, all of them. This means not just peoples, it means nations. The nations will thank you. That's part of what I do here at Yishai Fleischer TV. In my mind, my job is also to bring this light to the nations. I love that phrase, Yoducha amim, Yoducha Elohim, Yoducha amim kulam. They will all thank you, but also has a hint of the word Yid'ucha, which means they will know you. Yismechu v'yiranenu le'umim. Indeed, kingdoms will rejoice and sing praises. Ki tishpot amim mishor, for you will judge peoples fairly. Ule'umim ba'aretz tenechem sela. And the kingdoms, you will lead them on earth forever in proper guidance. Yoducha amim, yoducha amim kulam. Peoples will thank you. Nations will thank you. Nations will thank you, all of them. You see how this is so much about God's light to the world. Eretz natna yevula, the earth, but maybe the land of Israel gave forth its produce. Yevarchenu Elohim Eloheinu. God, our God, will bless us. He will make this world, once people recognize godliness and the light of Israel, there'll be such a blessing and a plenty in this world, and everybody's going to feel it. Yevarchenu Elohim. May God will bless us. May God bless us. V'yir'u oto kol afsei aretz. And the ends of the earth will fear him, will know him, will connect to him. I think that's very much the theme of the show that we try to create here at Yishai Fleischer TV together with my amazing team. So God bless you, everybody, and thank you so much. Okay, let's get to what the show is about today. I have a few topics that I want to cover. There's a lot of stuff out there, but first I want to cover this incredible Nick Fuentes monologue. This guy, Fuentes, is smart. That's for sure. He is a smart dude. That's for sure. He is not well. And I think also he perceives the world. He strikes me as a guy, what do they used to call him? Like incels who reads a lot of comic books. He strikes me as seeing the world through these kind of, he speaks like Lex Luthor. He's got a Lex Luthor type of persona, and he sees the world through these big swaths, big demons, big organizations that are out there scheming. And that's how he conceives the Jews, sadly. That's how he understands the Jewish people. And I think that this video is really smart and sick. you'll see what I mean. Never conflate those two things. People can be very smart and have a oftentimes very smart people miss common sense. Oftentimes smart people use their smartness to hide and mask internal illnesses. And Nick Fuentes is got Rick Davis has an expletive. He calls him a putz. Okay, I understand that, Rick. And but you see, Rick, I distinguish between sick and wrong-headed and not talented. This guy's talented. He's talented. He's a talented speaker. He's eloquent. He puts his ideas out there in a way that leads, that talks to people, and he certainly senses the vibe of people. So therefore, he's smart. He's just, not only is he wrong, but he's ill. He's got a very ill conception of this world. But let's get to it, and you'll understand what I mean. Here's Nick Fuentes with his latest anti-Israel rants. Let's understand what he's talking about.
Next big conceit. The Jews are extremely clever. Do not underestimate the Jews. This is what they do. This is what they have done for generations, and they have written the playbook on it. So you think we got them all figured out? You think we're going to go on Twitter and say, hey, you did 9/11 and 6 million didn't die. We have all our talking points about your hypocrisy.
All right. So first thing is, like, he's throwing out there right from the get-go, he's throwing out things like that Jews did 9/11. Seriously? No, we didn't. That was jihadists. See? That was really jihadists out of Saudi Arabia. That's who did 9/11. And 6 million, my own family was murdered. Let's just do the numbers. Out of 8 brothers that my grandfather was part of, 3 survived. Okay? Because they were all taken to Auschwitz, the parents, the children, the neighbors, the whole thing. So, okay, that's your talking points. That's a little wacky. Let's keep going.
And about how you got kicked out of 109 countries.
We were kicked out of 109 countries because of the kind of crap that you're talking about. We were kicked out of countries because of Christian love and other problematic, demonic ways of looking at things, where people try to find blame, not with themselves for their problems, not with the fact that they didn't wash their hands or they have sewage in the streets and therefore they have the plague, but with some other force. And so the Jew, instead of seeing the blessing and the light that is the Jewish people, that is what has happened in the past. So this, your conceit, Fuentes, is these so-called talking points that we were kicked out. What does that prove? That what? That we're not liked by the Gentiles? That Jews are different? It's not in no way a badge of honor. All the countries, let's say, that kicked out the Jews, they regret it later on. So what's your point? That the world failed God's people? That the world didn't send the blessing to God's people? And those nations that did defend us, do we not remember it forever? Will they not have merit forever? But okay, let's keep going. So he's saying the Jews have it all figured out. Our talking points are not going to win the day. I see an interesting comment here. Wendy says, my British family was kicked out of England for not going to the church too. It was not just Jews that were kicked out of countries, but anybody who went against the church. Okay. So, what is that something like, is that a badge of dishonor to the Jewish people that we were kicked out of places like England? No, it's a badge of dishonor to them. If anything, when you're trying to diss us that we were kicked out of, as you say, 109 countries, it's a badge of dishonor for you and for those nations that they didn't protect the children of God.
And you think the Jews, who have been lawyers and conjurers and media moguls and middlemen for thousands of years, empowered by the devil, realistically.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Where did you get this empowered by the devil business? Why? Because we were lawyers? Well, we were lawyers, and we still are lawyers. I'm a lawyer. You're right. We're good with words. We're good with laws. We're good with analytical systems. Okay. Where did you get this empowered by the devil business? I mean, if anybody here in this conversation that we're having is empowered by the devil, bro, it ain't me. You know, the ingathering of the exiles is powered by God and powered by good, not powered by the devil. What is this business of empowered by the devil? Why? Because you're like in this like Salem witch hunt mode. You're godly because you want to burn witches. That's and we're the devil. Is that what it is? We're witches. Okay.
You think they will not have any response? You think they're going to take all this in stride and say, we got outsmarted by Jake Shields? These thousands of years building up this edifice of lies, it all came crumbling down because some retard kept spamming the same tweet. I think Hitler was right. I think it wasn't 6 billion. Tower 7, what happened there? You think they're going to take that laying down? Oh, shucks. I guess we got foiled again.
Okay, what I like about Fuentes always is that I like that he fears the Jews. I like that, right? I like that he senses our historical past. Like he's got a sense for it. He senses the thousands of years, as opposed to progressives, right? Who give you a sense like they don't, that Israel was born in 1948 and that Israel is like the Jewish people are Johnny come lately type of thing. I like that he's got a sense of the historical weight of the Jewish people and our intellectual weight. I like that. I like that a lot. I think that's good. And that's why, you see what I'm saying? That's why I kind of respect him, because he's got a much broader sense of Jewish history than a lot of other thinkers. But his conclusions are, of course, ghoulish and wrong, because he sees things in a kind of comic bookish type of way, where the Jews are this, like, demonic, behind the scenes effort. It's so funny because we too have a sense for the demonic energy that's out there, that's anti-God, and that's the Amalekites, right? The Amalekites, they strike at the Jews in a hidden way, and we saw the explosion of Amalekiteness on October 7th. But no, he basically wants to reverse this world and make the Jews into the Amalekites. Okay.
Absolutely not. The Jews are extremely sophisticated. They will outlast us, they will outsmart us, and they will come up with a new conceit. And by the way, they already have. Okay,
so the Jews will outlast us is probably right? We've outlasted all the other empires. And I don't say this in a haughty way. I say this because that's a historical fact. But here's where Fuentes gets off track. This is where he starts to lose it. Where he loses it is that he thinks very unreligiously that the reason the Jewish people have survived is through some kind of smartness. And we haven't. It's not because we're smarter. We have a long history of intellectualism, etc., but that's not why we survive. There's been very many smart nations. We survive because we cling to God. We survive because we fulfill his commandments. That's a fact. And the ghoulish, devilish presentation of us like conniving and smart and therefore surviving is giving us way too much credit. And really a haughty, it would be a haughty perspective from Mars if we would if we would see it that way. We do not survive because of our smartness. We survive because God wills it. We survive because we attach ourselves to God, and we survive because throughout the ages, God exiled us, and He promised to ingather us. And our survival is His gift, and that is really the main point where Fuentes fails. He sees where he should be seeing godliness, he sees demons, and where he should see God's blessings, he sees conniving Jewish, and he thinks that somehow a nation that was exiled to the four corners of the earth would survive and be reborn in its land because of its smartness. No nation is that smart. No nation has that power. Nations assimilate out, and it's not our cleverness. And that is that's his comic bookish, childish way of looking at things. He is looking for a boogeyman. So with all of his smarts, it's like he's missing something. It's like he's missing a big thing. And I think actually his smartness hides other issues, psychological issues that he has inside. But okay, let's keep going with the prima facie evidence.
They already have. It's Michael Millerman. It's Joe Lonsdale. It's Sean McGuire. For everybody that has eyes to see and ears to hear, you know what I'm talking about and you've seen it. They're rebranding it. They're rebranding it. They know they're never going to get everybody to be pro-Israel again. That ship has sailed. They're never going to.
Right. And before you go on to make your point, Nick, I just want to ask, if we're such masters of media and control, why is it that we lost what you just said, that so many people don't like Israel? Like, if we were so smart and so good, right, wouldn't we be doing a better job here? You know, you see what I'm saying? It's like, on the one hand, he says they're super smart. Whoa, we got a little. On the one hand, he says, like, we're super smart. On the other hand, he's like, you were kicked out of 109 countries. Well, why did that happen? Where was our smartness then? And he says, we're super smart. And then he's like, look, the ship has sailed. People don't like Israel. So where's all that smartness that you're talking about, right? But it doesn't matter, right? Because haters always have it both ways. That's just one of the telltale signs of anti-Semites. They just have it both ways. We're hated, we're being kicked out, but we're in control of everything. See what I'm saying? There's like an internal confusion because they find ways to hate on either side. That's a giveaway that you're dealing with anti-Semitism. But anyway, now he's going to say that there's a new conceit, and that conceit is about Western civilization. Let's listen.
Going to get everybody to be dispensationalist Christians, worshiping Israel. Those that bless shall be blessed, never going back. So they're changing tactics, and they're trying something new. And what they are doing is they are starting to conflate the word civilization and the West with the Judeo-Christian narrative. They say it's Christians and Jews, the United States and Israel as civilization versus the barbarism of the communists and the Muslims. This is their new line.
Wait a minute. First thing, that line, that idea is very much an American idea. I think there's a lot of truth in it. I think there is a lot of truth in it. I think that there is today civilizations that want to promote liberty, right? Like Reagan type liberty. And I think that Israel is part of that. I think, by the way, I think that Israel is part of the West, but it's also kind of its own in the middle brand. But I think that there's a truth to that, right? There is the communists that want to take away liberty and freedom. And there is the jihadists that want to take liberty and freedom away from peoples. And then there are people who believe in free markets, freedom of speech, freedoms and liberties. And the United States has been the great promulgator of that. And a religion, a faith in God, the communists are against faith in God, and the jihadists are also against faith in God. They believe in God forcing God upon you. They don't believe in faith. They believe that you have to submit. That's very different than faith, right? You don't have faith when you have to submit. You're basically enslaved. They believe in a type of slavery. So do I think that that's wrong? No, I think that that's right. And by the way, I don't use the term Judeo-Christian. I never use that term. I don't like that term for various reasons. I use biblical civilization. My good friend Zev Ornstein said a line that has absolutely rocked me. He said, it's not that Israel is the outpost of Western civilization. It's not that we're a democracy in the Middle East. It's that America is the outpost of Jerusalem, of biblical values. And are we lined up on those biblical values? Yes, on the values of liberty and freedom and joy, serving God in joy, and in opportunity and equality, and in the opposite of enslavement. Yes. So I don't quite see where this guy who was formerly a conservative, now he's saying that he's a Democrat. By the way, like intellectuals have every right to change their minds. Everybody's got a right to change their minds, but changing your mind is a mark of smartness. But changing your colors is a mark of instability. What, now he's a Democrat, this guy? Who gets it? Anyway, so yeah, is Israel part of the of liberty civilization? Yes. That's where we link up with the United States when it does that, I think.
It's everywhere. If you're paying attention, it's everywhere. This is Joe Lonsdale's line. Joe Lonsdale from Founders Fund, PayPal Mafia, Cicero Institute. Jew. This is Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller, White House Deputy Chief of Staff, who says we're pro-civilization, pro-Iran war, pro-mass deportations. Jew. Randy Fine, you know that when we're grading congressmen, America First Foundation is creating a scorecard for every congressman currently seated in the past 2 sessions. You know that when we graded Randy Fine, he ranked A+ on immigration, but F on foreign policy? Randy Fine, too, will say, mass deportations, no Muslims in America, build the wall, no dual citizens. But then he'll support the war in Iran and the
I don't understand. I honest to God, do not understand how border policy, not allowing jihadists to swoop in, is in any way, and he likes that, is any way different than the war in Iran. Can somebody help me understand the intellectual thing that he's trying to say here? I just don't get it. To me, aren't they part of the same thing? A war on jihad, a pushing back on jihad? Really, I'm asking you honestly. I don't even understand how he now separates these two things. War on jihad means stopping those people that empower that flood of immigration into the West. So how is it, to me, if you're making borders and you're pushing back on the folks that want to nuke America, nuke Israel, it's part of the same thing. How is it separate? I'm just trying to understand even his thinking. I honest to God do not understand what he's thinking. All right. By the way, here's a comment. Look at that Fuentes face, contorted with bitterness and hatred. Demon possession is an ugly thing. I don't know who's possessed by demons or not, but he's certainly possessed by very bad ideas, very dark ideas. He certainly thinks that he's in a possessed mindset. He thinks other people are possessed or demonic, and so he's counter-demonic. He does look like Spider-Man, the Goblin guy here. Does he not look like the Goblin Spider-Man bad guy? Not that I'm a big like Marvel thing, but I do feel, or DC, I do feel that there is a comic book thing happening here. There's definitely like this guy is like playing some kind of comic book role here. It's kind of not real feet on the ground. In any case, I honest to God do not understand why wouldn't a Nick Fuentes support? First thing, war in many ways is good for an American economy. It's good for I would think that for America, they would like the idea of controlling more of the oil. They would like the idea of disempowering China. I don't even understand what this guy's talking about. Honest to God, I don't even know. Here, I'm just like, I don't even get the sense of it. Wouldn't you want a pushback on these forces? I mean, really, but then again, he thinks that Jews did September 11th. So he has no clue about what the jihad is really up to.
Genocide in Gaza. This is the conceit.
Oh, so wait. This is important. Here's another place where I absolutely lose respect for a guy like this. Nick Fuentes is now going to say the word genocide in Gaza. Like, bro, I just have more respect for you than that. You're like, what are the facts here? You know, there's no genocide in Gaza. You know, that thing is so stupid. It's such a lie. It's such a progressive lie. It's such a jihadi, progressive, communist lie. Why would you be mouthing that? Look,
Or in Iran and the genocide in Gaza.
get out of here, genocide in Gaza. That's like New York Times crapola. I like, bro, it's just that I have a little bit more intellectual respect for you. Not like, but intellectual respect. What is with this crapola? You're going to now mouth the genocide in Gaza thing? It makes me think that you're not serious in your critique. It makes me think that you're just looking for any fact to buttress your hate.
This is the conceit. Sean McGuire, this may be the most telling thing of all. Sean McGuire, who is a partner at Sequoia Capital, a venture capital firm in Silicon Valley, and they invest, it's this long tail investing in a lot of tech defense companies, almost all of them in El Segundo and Silicon Valley. It's either Sequoia or it's Andreessen Horowitz, few others. Sean McGuire, who has an Israeli wife and kids, he went on Twitter and said, my fellow Jews, he said, stop talking about Israel. He said, because Americans don't care about Israel anymore. He said, start talking about Western civilization instead. He said, because we can couch our pro-Israel advocacy between the lines of a pro-Western civilization message, a pro-civilization message. If we talk about America and talk about the West, we can shoehorn in Israel in a way where people either be indifferent to it, at least they won't oppose it.
Again, here's my two questions just to make sure you understand it. One is that if Israel was so awesome, so successful, and the Jews are so conniving and sneaky, like why would we be in this situation? That's question number one. And number two is, isn't that true though? That we are in a battle for Western civilization? Isn't that true that the jihadism wants to destroy Western civilization? Isn't it true that the communists and jihadists together want to attack Israel and America? Isn't it true? Like you're saying, they're going to couch it. They're going to couch it and talk about Western civilization. It's not couching. I think it's really, there's a truth in it. So those are my two questions for Nikki here.
Michael Millerman, another Claremont Jew, did a big video about the new pro-civilization movement. Same story. Joel Pollack at Breitbart, same story. Josh Hammer, who wrote his book about this, and he is a huge Hasbara agent, maybe one of the preeminent ones. Same story. They're all running the same playbook. And here's my point, is we have to always adapt to survive. The old pro-Israel thing is destroyed. We are inoculated against it. We found the cure. We have the antibodies.
Antibodies. It looks to me like you're sick. It looks like you've been completely taken up by the virus of anti-Semitism and anti-Israelism, and you've become completely your sharp mind has become under the influence of this sickness. I don't think at all that you're inoculated. I think you're inoculated against good. I think you're inoculated against God. I think that you're working either consciously or unconsciously for the haters of America who want to take down America. So I'm not quite sure. You're really here. Somebody writes. He writes Money Trail. Could very well. She writes Money Trail. Could be. Another person says Nick is an idiot. I don't know. I don't think these people are idiots. I really don't. I really don't think they're idiots. I think that they're smart. I think that they're lost. I think that this guy is dangerous, and I think he's dangerous to America, not to the Jews. I would say this. I would say one thing. All these people that he mentions, and here's Yishai's innovative thought. All the people that he mentions are all American Jews. And I think that people like him become allergic, xenophobic. I think that if he would hear from people like me who are not trying to keep American Jews in power in America, who want to have our independent Jewish state survive here in the region, I think he would understand things differently. Like all the people that he quotes are people that want the American Jewish project to survive. They want Israel to survive as well, but in many ways, they're American Jews. He has never heard from a nationalist Israeli Jew like myself. And that is a very different thing. Yes, I speak English. Yes, I sound like an American, but I'm not from there. I'm not from inside there. I'm from outside. I'm from my country. And I have a lot more credibility to speak about our civilization surviving, as opposed to people who, in his mind, are conniving and tricking and trying to work from within. I'm not trying to work from within. I'm trying to work from without. I like having allies, but I won't. But I'm not here to make my own survival paramount. And I think that'll feel very different to him. Okay, we heard enough from Nick Fuentes. Let's hear from somebody. First thing somebody wrote, you were born in America. Well, that's not true. I was born in Israel. That's number one. And so what? Even if I was, it doesn't matter where I was born. I was born in Israel, happens to be, but it doesn't matter. I represent something completely different than the people that he mentioned. Even though I might be, friendly with them, etc., but it's a different energy altogether. Elizabeth says, I'm not convinced he believes what he's saying. Hard to know, Elizabeth. Hard to know what he really thinks. But of course, he as in one of my favorite movies, The King's Speech. When King George passes by and he hears Hitler, so they say, "What is he saying, Daddy?" And he says, "I don't know, but he seems to be saying it quite well." I need to say, Nick Fuentes, you can disregard him and say that he's an idiot. I don't think he's an idiot. I think that he's his idiots. His ideas are idiotic. They're not idiotic. They're sick. They're wrong-headed, and they're anti-American in the end. They're anti-Western civilization. It's true, and they're certainly anti-Israel. But no idiot. And by the way, I hate it when people say that AOC is an idiot. Far from it. Far from it. Don't underestimate these people. Don't use words like idiot about smart people who are out there against you. It's a way of minimizing them and poo-pooing them, but then you actually endanger yourself for being open to attack because you don't see the magnitude and seriousness of the attack because you think they're dummies. Okay. Thank you very much for the blessings from PC. I think we covered that beforehand. Thank you very much. Now, let's hear an American Jew, I think a very proud and very courageous American Jew, Bill Maher, who also had a rant this week about Israel, and which is making its own waves. Let's watch this. That's just so patently true, right? That when egregious horrors happen around the world, nobody cares. And the greatest example of them all was the destruction of the Iranian protesters. How many was it? 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 in 2 days. In 2 days. And they're calling us genociders. And nobody cared. Nobody cared. Nobody. It was really such a double standard that was obvious in this world. So that's, I guess, what Bill Maher and just make the point that is so. I want everybody to hear me on this point. Anti-Semitism is hurtful and destructive to Jews. It's painful, and it undermines our thing. It's hate against Jews, but it's completely deadly to the society that gets sick with it. It's super destructive for the society that is inflicted with these beliefs and thoughts. For Jews, if we get kicked out of a country, of a city, and our businesses are destroyed, it's horrible. But the nation goes on. especially with our return to the heartland, which is Israel, to our land ingathering. And so, it's anti-Semitism is awful, but for France, for the UK, for Belgium, these things finish off those countries or shrink them until they're decimated. It's just it's an illness. It's a psychological illness, and the real problem with it is that it's exactly the opposite of taking responsibility. Anti-Semitism is oftentimes a way for the host society to be like, well, our problems are the fault of this boogeyman. And so you have basically a society that no longer looks honestly at itself, no longer wants to fix itself, and no longer, of course, has no longer, religious feeling and godly feeling and Bible feelings. But I'm even talking without the spiritual component. If you are searching to blame the Jews, you're having a mental problem. And so therefore, it's important to understand that indeed these people may elect the next president of the United States, but that will inextricably, naturally, biologically shrink America and hurt it. Anti-Semitism will hurt America. Jews in Israel will continue, it will be damaged, it will be hurt, but it'll keep going and regenerate, rebuild. But this is a curse. It's a plague upon the host society.
To drive. Why?
And I'm sorry about the profanity and the stuff. I'm sorry about that. That's doesn't belong on our show, certainly. But the point is, here's who we're dealing with. Okay, writes 2100 that Dan is a loser all the way. Yeah, he's a sick person, and that's what Bill Maher is pointing out. Like, this person's it's a sickness, and when you follow this guy and you're in his sphere, if it's called the manosphere or the hatosphere, whatever you want to call it, it's destructive to your young people. It's destructive to your society to have that guy be a role model. Am I right? It's a horrible. It's bad for your society to have this guy as a role model for your kids. That's something that my mom said to me just before Shabbat. She said something that nobody's gonna like. She's told me something that kind of like, whoever I say this to, it's not gonna be like a big win, but there's a truth in it, and that's why people don't like it, which is European Jews and American Jews are gonna have to decide. They're gonna have to decide. Do they want to live with European or American anti-Semitism, or in American Europe, or with the war with the Arabs and the jihadists here in Israel and the Middle East? It's just going to be a choice, because the war for Jewish survival is far from over. The effort of the Holocaust is far from over. And it's going to be true in America. It's true in Europe, and it's true in Israel. If you want to choose Israel because you want to be part of the story, then that's awesome. Okay. But don't tell me that it's because you're safer here in Israel. Okay. We have the ability to fight back here, which is true. But can I tell you honestly that it's safer? It's safer in the long term of the Jewish people's story narrative and the godly promise to ingather the exiles. But in the next bit, we're going to face either American and European anti-Semitism or Arab and jihadi attacks on Israel. And you're going to have to choose, because the world's not going to be exactly a beautiful and pretty place. Okay, and we're going to survive, and we're going to be strong. We're going to win. We're going to defeat the bad guys, and they're going to also disintegrate into themselves. But that's in the long term. In the short term, the war continues. Let's listen to Bill Maher. Again, I want to tell you, by the way, that Bill Maher, might not agree with him on everything, but I want to tell you, I respect him for being a Hollywood person and getting out there and telling the truth and doing it in a researched and calm way. And God bless him. God bless his strength. In his way, he's a Charlie Kirk. He's putting it out there. And I salute you, Bill Maher. I salute you, and I respect and recognize this reality. 60% of Gen Z voters. Hold on 1 second. I see that there's a problem here. 1 second. Yes?
the stream was suspended on YouTube.
No, I think just on Facebook I see that there's a problem.
It's also on YouTube.
Okay, I don't know. I don't see that here, and I see that there's still a lot of folks. Are you guys see the live stream? Are you guys still seeing it? Let me know if you're seeing it. But so far, I'm still broadcasting. So let me finish off here.
Okay.
All right. In any case, Bill Maher, maybe there's a problem with is that right? Is the stream suspended for policy violations? You guys on YouTube still watching, or is there a problem? I see that there's some issues. Please let me know if on YouTube you guys are still seeing it or not, or if I should do something to restart it. I don't know. All right. In any case,
We definitely do not see it on YouTube. It's been suspended for policy violations. Let me see about X.
okay. Maybe because of the Bill Maher HBO thing. I don't know about that. But in any case, okay, we're not going to play any more of Bill Maher because maybe sometimes they don't like that there. I don't know. But let's add what I think is an incredible, who I think is an incredible American who has it right, and that is Pete Hegseth. And I want you to see this incredible discourse that he had with a senator in the United States as he's reporting to the Senate.
To tell you,
America is stuck in another Middle East quagmire.
Wait. Hold on. Here we go. First, let's do this. Let's lower the volume. Here we go.
we tried to tell you.
America is stuck in another Middle East quagmire. Thank you, Mr. Trump. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. This is what you've done for the American people.
A few moments later.
But if I may.
Sure. Yeah.
I didn't get a chance. I didn't see a question in the statement from the congressman. I hope you appreciate how reckless it is. When I said reckless, feckless, and defeatist of congressional Democrats at the beginning, that came after watching you say the same thing on CNN this morning, a quagmire. My generation served in a quagmire in Iraq and Afghanistan, years and years of nebulous missions and utopian nation building that led us to nothing. What we have right now, the way you stain the troops when you tell them 2 months in, Congressman, you should know better. Shame on you. Calling this a quagmire 2 months in. The effort, what they've undertaken, what they've succeeded, the success on the battlefield that could create strategic opportunities, the courage of a president to confront a nuclear Iran, and you call it a quagmire, handing propaganda to our enemies, shame on you for that statement. And statements like that are reckless to our troops. Don't say I support the troops on one hand and then a 2-month mission is a quagmire. That's a false equivalation. Who are you cheering for here? Who are you pulling for? Our troops are doing incredible work. They've done incredible things for the entirety of this mission and achieved incredible battlefield successes. And you sit there and go on TV for your clickbait about quagmires. It undermines the mission. Your hatred for President Trump blinds you to the truth of the success of this mission and the historic stakes that the president is addressing, which the American people support. Iran's been at war with us for 47 years. You want to talk about a forever war? For 2 months, this president has stared them down. He's going to get a better deal than anyone ever has and ensure that Iran never has a nuclear weapon. I know the American people support that mission despite your loose talk and words like quagmire.
I got to tell you that first thing is, as a IDF warrior and a person who knows Pete Hegseth, I can tell you he is talking from his gut. He is talking from the inside. He is ticked off. And therein lies the civilizational argument that Nick Fuentes wants to deny. It's like, these troops are fighting the jihad that wants to destroy America and has been planning and working to destroy America for 47 years. Somebody's writing, Yishai, you violated something. Yeah, I'm sorry. I put Bill Maher. I thought that was, a YouTube video that was already allowed to be shown, and it's a very important video. And kol hakavod, we say in Hebrew, we say everybody learn the words kol hakavod, all the respect to Bill Maher. But it looks like I violated something by playing that. Okay, but we're back anyway. In any case, Pete Hegseth, yelling at the senator, saying, our troops are in the line of fire. Support the troops. They're pushing back on jihadism, and your hate for President Trump and your hate for a strong Israel, your hate for a fight against jihadism, which yes wants to undermine American civilization, is definitely a problem. Okay, so that was Pete Hegseth. Okay, we've covered a lot here. We've covered a lot. Here, somebody writes, Larry writes, Hegseth has come a long way. He's a very strong guy. I know him. He's a very strong guy. By the way, if you look at Fox Nation, you could find the video that I did with Pete Hegseth. I'd love to show that again about Hebron and Bethlehem. Cool, really cool. Okay, we in Israel, we have our own folks that sometimes fight against our own civilization. And I wanted to just play, one last video to discuss the story of the Mashiach patch. Do you know about the Mashiach patch? Do you know about that? These are patches for soldiers here that sometimes display either the word Mashiach or display a image of the third temple or the second temple that we're hoping to be going to see a third temple in the same way, a similar image. And so it says Mashiach, which means Messiah. And Messiah means the kind of chosen leader of the Jewish people who brings final redemption. I just want to make sure we understand what we're talking about. So what's this? Yishai, now you are going to get into our small internal conflicts. Yeah, I'm going to discuss it for a second. I want to discuss it. Hold on a second. Let's see if I could get one of those patches over here for a second. We'll see if I can get one of those patches. As says Clementine, I love the patch, and I handed out a lot of these patches. So what happened was an interesting story. Let's watch this story. Here's a little video about the Mashiach patch. What happened here? Okay, so there's an argument about these patches. Here you see on the bottom right, you see the Mashiach patch. It says Mashiach in Hebrew, and then another patch that shows the lion. It says a nation like a lion. That's part of the name of the wars. So a soldier in the Nachal infantry brigade was caught by literally the chief of staff when the chief of staff came on inspection, and he pulled it off him, and now he's thrown him into 30 days. He was judged to go 30 days in army prison for wearing this patch. We're talking about a not reserve, but a standing army. That means a young 18 to 21-year-old soldier who was wearing this patch. There's the chief of staff, the general of the army, and you could see he's a tough dude. And there he was on routine visitation to the Nachal Brigade training camp, and he saw the soldier, and he got him in big trouble. Okay, and he saw him in with the patch of Mashiach inside while on guard duty. So the day before, the Nachal Brigade were told that the chief of staff is coming. And notice, by the way, he's wearing full gear. He's in battle gear. And he came to the Nachal. They told him, you're coming to the Nachal Brigade. And this soldier did not take off this patch and, in a sense, shamed them. Now, okay, let's just understand that the argument is that the patch is unsoldierly-like. Right? It's unsoldierly-like because soldiers are meant to wear a uniform. That's part of how an army operates. The word uniform from the word uniformity, right? It's supposed to be unified and uniformed. And to create, you're actually supposed to, in some measure, lose personality, lose individuality, and become a cog, an order receiving and fighting cog, so that if necessary, you could lay down your life or fulfill orders that you don't even understand because it's part of a bigger picture. That is what the creation of a soldier is. And here they broke that by wearing this patch. Okay? That's the argument on the one side. They were told, take off any patches before the chief of staff is coming. Now, here is, of course, a problem of tactics, which is, maybe the soldier should have taken off the patch just because, the chief of staff is coming. So, okay, so let's not make waves. But he didn't do that.
ולמרות ההיערכות המוגברת, זמיר מצא עמדה מוזנחת ופאץ' משיח, והמח"ט הובך מול הרמטכ"ל, שהנחה לשפוט את החיים.
And the chief of staff made the company commander there, or the brigade commander, or whatever's in between there, the platoon commander. He made him judge, take the soldier to army court, and he judged him for 30 days in prison. We talked with one of the mothers of this platoon. Right. So then the mom has got a problem, not with the patch and not with the fact that the chief of staff doesn't like the patch. Right. So here it's called, somebody writes, it's called discipline. That's right. But what is the issue here? The issue is not the patch, nor the fact that the chief of staff is calling for discipline. What's the issue? The issue is 30 days in prison. 30 days in prison for a soldier who's putting his life on the line to protect Israel in a time of war. And what did he do exactly? Was he smoking pot during guard duty? He had a patch on that said, I'm fighting for something. An identity. A bigger identity than just the state of Israel. Right? And you have a problem with this wearing a patch? I can understand that for a standing army soldier. So say to him, speak like Shlomo Karlbach, the sweetest of the sweet, my matokist, my sweet chayal soldier. Please, it's important for us to have uniformity. And therefore, I ask you, please, to take this off so that we can be a better fighting force. Okay. Or we did tell you not to take them off, so therefore you have to do 20 push-ups. Okay. 30 days for a young soldier who's proudly saying, I'm fighting for the Jewish story. Give me a little bit of bigger rationale, reason why I'm fighting this war. Throwing a kid like that in jail, that is where the nation is ticked. It's ticked off. Now, this thing is big. I'm telling you, it's much bigger. And here in Israel, this whole story has really kind of exploded because of the chumrat haonish, we say in Hebrew, the too big, what's the word I'm looking for here? Help me out, my friends in the comment section. The uncommensurate punishment. It's too big for the crime. It's cruel and unusual. And it's not smart in a time of war to take away the motivation, severity of punishment. Thank you, Larry. You're strong today, Larry. You're sharp. You're on it. Thank you, Larry. The severity of punishment. It's not proper. And don't take away on top of which we need our soldiers to be motivated. You slap that guy on the side. You say, you're awesome, young man. And I get why this is important to you, but put that in your pocket because I need you to be uniform with the other guys. But I'm proud of you. I salute you. Fighter for Israel, fighter for the third temple, fighter for Mashiach, fighter for God, fighter for the Bible. I salute you, and I understand what you're looking for. You're not going to throw a kid like that in jail. That's preposterous. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. But you know what, though? It's all for the good. Why is it for the good? Because this story is going to explode. It's already exploding. And there's moms, going out there, and the nation wakes up. Sometimes these things happen, and then the nation wakes up and says, wait a minute. No. You're taking it too far. You're taking it too far. We get your thing, but you're taking it too far. You're not doing it. The severity is too much, and you're not thinking about the bigger picture. We need our young people to be motivated, to be in love with our story. And says Clementine, they should be allowed to wear the patch. It's a Jewish army. You know what? I'll tell you what, Clementine, I hear you. I totally understand you, and that might be right. Another way to think about it is we have a giant reserve army. And the reserve army, the rules are much less severe about what people can or cannot wear. There's a lot more leeway. So you want to wait 3 years and then go into reserve army, wear your patch? I can get that. But where's the love, baby? You got to talk in love. You got to motivate the soldiers, Eyal Zamir. You got to, too harsh. Poor kid was used as an example to all soldiers, but he could have been an example. He could have been like, imagine if this was what happened. Imagine if he would have been like, yo, I want you to video this because I want this to be a YouTube, Instagram short. Video this. He comes up to the kid, and the kid's name is like I think, or Ori, or, and he says, and he goes, and he tells his lieutenants, says the chief of staff, I want you to videotape this. And the video, it starts to roll, and he goes, Or, come here. He slaps him on the shoulder and he says, thank you for your service. Now listen, my brother. Listen, soldier. I need you to take off that patch. I want you to put it in your pocket. I want you to do it for the greater good of the army. I want you to do it because we have to have discipline and we have to have uniformity. But I respect the fact that you're bringing something to motivate us to continue to fight our enemies and to put your life on the line. And we all thank you and salute you. So I know it's not pleasant, but I ask you to please remove the patch, put it in your pocket, keep it close to your heart. But right now, as a young uniformed soldier, I need you to keep discipline. And I salute you. I salute you for putting your young life on the line for the state of Israel. And thank you. Imagine if that video would have come out. Imagine if that video would have come out. You would have had motivation from here to Timbuktu. Okay? From the Hermon to Eilat, you would have had motivation for soldiers. Instead, he had this ugly act, 30 days in prison. Now the moms are upset, and everybody's laughing at us because we don't love our own soldiers. One question, says KP. Is the patch issued as part of the uniform? No. I think they may be trying to make a point that if this is okay, then somebody else might put a rainbow patch on. Of course. You're right. And that's what I've been saying throughout this conversation. Of course. It's not an army that can put on anything you want. I get that. Right. So Larry says that Zamir is part of Herzl's IDF Eisenkotz, which is a left-leaning thing, which is an anti-Jewish thing in some ways. I get it. And I understand the motivations of the let's call it more left-leaning aspects of higher ups in the Israeli army. I get it. But anyway, I am trying to says 1B5 says, does the patch might also divide the Christians, Arabs, and Jews in the army? It might look more serious because of the Christian statue that happened in Lebanon. Yes, there's something to what you're saying. There's something to what you're saying in that there is a fear in the army of an over-religious zealousness, which is going to be part of the story of the Israeli army, especially since they want to bring in a lot more very observant people. So that's going to be part of the issue. I hear all that. I hear it. These are all great points, really. You want to have uniformity in uniform. There are more leftist elements of the army. They want to knock down religious zealousness, which is definitely going to be an issue in the years ahead, no doubt about it. That's what happens when you bring in and create a more religious society, and also when you allow things like October 7th to happen, you get a lot more anti-jihad and more zealous type of hate. You're going to get all those things. But my point is, imagine how I drew that story for you. Imagine what it would have been like had it been through love and motivation and unification and respect for Jewish symbols. He would have earned a place in history, Eyal Zamir. But instead, he earned himself a little ignominy, okay? And he's definitely, they're going to have to back down a little bit. And then, of course, you have all these religious soldiers who are like, what's going on? Is this a Jewish army? And you got all these people shaking their head, and they're saying, this is not a Jewish army, and there's leftists and all that kind of stuff. It all could have been avoided. It all could have been avoided. Now, just a final addendum I want to make on this story is that my brother Josh, is even yet now a reserve soldier, even this week, he said something that I really liked, and it's in my brother's inimitable style. He said, the Mashiach patch is a name tag. It's a name tag. It's not that I'm rooting for Mashiach. It's that I am Mashiach. That's my name. It's my name tag. We are all Mashiach. We are all getting a chance. We're all getting a chance to fight and to be part of the Messianic times. And God has given us in our hands the strength to fight for his name. And therefore, my name is Mashiach. It's not that I'm putting on a flag. It's just my name tag. Just like police officers have name tags. My name is Mashiach. Only my brother could have come up with that. I love that one. All right, my friends. I want to really bless you. I have to head out to Tel Aviv for a graduation ceremony. And so I really want to thank you for being with me wherever you are. I remind you, my dear friends, that there are ways to support the show. Chiefly amongst them is that you can support the show and support our project at buildisrael.com, where we build Israel together, building Israel together. You're a builder of Israel, and I'm a builder of Israel, and Hashem, God above, is the builder of Israel, and you could be part of it. So let's build Israel together. Please visit our website, buildisrael.com, and you can support our broadcasting and restoration projects and all that we do. You can also go to buymeacoffee.com/Yishai, a great way to support the show. Just buy me a cup of coffee. It makes all the difference in the world. Spiritual cup of coffee, support cup of coffee, however you want to call it, but it's a great way to remember it. It's a great kind of meme. Buymeacoffee.com/Yishai. Remember, folks, Israel is the liberation nation. That's what this thing is about. And we are in a process of being ingathered because we believe in go big and go home. That's right. Go big and go home. That's what's happening. Oh, Yo is dedicating super chat to the wonderful people in the live chat today. Thank you very much for coming in. And we're going to be doing more lives. We're going to be doing many more lives. And so we're going to create a community and love here together and strength. Your advice, your support is appreciated. So please visit us. You can go to Yishai Fleischer TV on YouTube or on the internet, yishai.tv. And remember, folks, what we're really up to is we have a special thing that we're involved in called making God's name great again. That is the process that we're in. Liberate who? Easy. No name user. Liberate the millions of people under the thumb of the jihad. Liberate all the people who are under the thumb of a narrative that poisons the mind, like we saw from Nick Fuentes, etc. There's a lot of people that need liberation. The Jewish people have been liberation nation since the Exodus from Egypt. Our flag is about liberation. It's about the splitting of the Red Sea and going from slavery into freedom. And you can be a part of it wherever you are. God bless you, folks. I want to thank my team for helping make it happen. Lots of love, lots of blessings from the land of blessings, lots of heart from the heartland of the Holy Land. And may God turn his face to you, as we read in the Psalm 67. That's the Psalm that I want you to study. Jew and lovers of Israel alike, please read Psalm 67. God bless you wherever you are. Lots of strength to you. We continue the fight, and God be with us. And shalom.